Today's style is called a crater sleeve. The book says, a sleeve with structural interest where a dent has been made in the fabric on the sleeve cap. An interesting design for a simple jacket or a coat. If you want to follow along, you can download a bodice block with sleeve in PDF or CLO format or a CLO3D project file. See the Gumroad link in the video description. If you're interested in CLO and 3D prototyping and want to learn more, I have a course for beginners on Udemy you might be interested in. You will find the link to the course in the video description. So let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to develop crater sleeve. This design is based on the sleeve that we have developed for gathered hole sleeve. It's exactly the same sleeve, so go to your previous project and start from there. So let's start developing. Our first step is to mark this inner part of the sleeve on this basic sleeve. So you'll see here that we have some points. 3 cm from the top, three centimeters from this line, which is actually a straight line there, so we'll remove the point. Three centimeters on the left, 2.5 centimeters on the right, like this. So we got this 3. Next, 3 centimeters here, and 3 and 3. So you notice that this entire dart has moved to the right by 3 centimeters. So since we're working in CLO, we can just move it like this. 3 centimeters to the right, it has been moved. Next, 2.5 centimeters on this side. Like this, and 2.5 centimeters here. Great. Now we have to join all these points to get this outline of the inner part of the sleeve. And I'm going to create the sleeve head. Oh, wrong one. Make it a bit rounder. I think it looks pretty good. So on this curved line, we need to mark points A and B. They are 3 centimeters above the bicep line. Like this. And now all the lines have been marked. Next step is to cut our sleeve out. You see here, this is the pattern part here. So we need to get it out of here. But before we do that, we need to mark 3 centimeters above the sleeve head. So the points are A, B, and 3 centimeters above. Below. 3 centimeters below, right here. All right, let's do that. Probably should have marked the point first, right? Okay, 3 centimeters. Going back and marking it like this. All right. Now we need this inner sleeve. Let's take it out. like this. So remember that these points are significant. So I will, first of all, remove the inner line, this one. I will add some notches here and here, and probably just clean it up a bit. Maybe one more thing, notch at the top. Always useful to have, isn't it? Like this. Okay. The next step, probably one of the most feared one, spreading the sleeve. Let's cut the inner part out. Let us just get rid of this one and keep this one. And place the notches here. Great, so here we are. We got the inner sleeve and we got the outer part here as well. And the points marked A and B on both inner and outer sleeve. For some reason my notches are gone. Okay, let me place new ones. Alright, notches are back. Great. Next part is to spread it out. So we see here that there are lines have been drawn. Sort of, there is no really indication where exactly we have to place this point. So we're just going to eyeball it. Somewhere here. Good enough. And here. The next thing we have to do is to spread this part to make sure that this inner line here between A and B equals the sleeve, this inner part of the sleeve head, times 1.15. It of course depends on the fabric. So let's try and see what we can do. I'll mark the inner line and outer line and see what we can spread it by. Let's go see 2017. Oh, maximum has been hit, 2217 at this point. Okay, let's keep it at that. I think our pattern is getting too distorted to be spread out by more than that. So I will clean it up a little bit. Okay, here's our sleeve, ready to be sewn. The one thing to consider is the grain as well. So here it's this way, so let's check what we have. Ours is straight, so I'll just rotate it. Cool, so this is the grain here. Next, let's do the sewing. Here you can see some mess happening. So let's reset these to 2D arrangement and then try again. I will have to place it manually. Like this. So before we go sewing this in, I probably should sew this one inside. I will sew to the notch. like this. And I will temporarily disable this sewing, and then we'll see what happens. Okay. Then this head will be sewn to this, to the notch. Okay. So you'll see there's some things happening here already. Let's first close the sleeve. Here we go. And now let's see. So let me add a little bit of particle here, or shall I remove some of the particle? Get it behaving a bit better. So you see what they meant by the fabric qualities, right? So for this sleeve you need to go for something much firmer. So let's go into this, make it strengthen, and this one as well. Okay, the next thing to do is to create this fold line. Remember the fold line? So let's just make this work for us. So you see the fold is happening. This seam here has to work differently. Let's do this. Okay. So we've got the fold. You see it's coming up right here. And of course, if you would like softer fold, you can offset this line. And give them all angle like this. You see that's a bit too much. Like this. So play with the fabric, play with the stiffness of the fabric, and if you're sewing the sleeve, obviously go for something really stiff like canvas or something. That's probably the only one that's going to hold the shape of the sleeve. Let's create another one. I'll freeze this one, I like it. Another one. Boom. Make it puff up a little bit like this. Some tugging, some pulling. And here we are. Here's your sleeve. Quite unusual looking thing. I would say something a bit more futuristic, but wearable, quite wearable. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.